Hey guys, just wanted to do a quick video today. I decided I wanted to kind of go into more depth with my what I quote unquote call King related books. Now, these are books that either are written about Stephen King or mention Stephen King's works in some capacity. And so we'll just kind of start with the top of the pile here with the Stephen King Companion, edited by George Behan. Boom. And of course, this one breaks down a look at his history. Again, a lot of these are withdrawn from libraries. So, like, this one is actually from the Irving Public Library. Not exactly where Irving is, but this one is withdrawn. Do not circulate. Irvine, Texas. Okay. So, Irvine Public Library, Irvine, Texas. So, got that copy there. Then the next one I have is Today's Writers and Their Work, Stephen King by Rebecca Steffoff. I love that picture of him. And it basically talks about his novels and stories, his history, up to like the mid 2000s. So, very cool. Again, it's a book withdrawn from the library. This one is from the Joliet Public Library. And it looks like it was withdrawn in October of 2010. So, that one made its way into my collection. Then the next one is The People to Know Stephen King, King of Thrillers and Horror by Susan Wilson. And apparently, Susan is a sixth grade English and math teacher, and she was introduced to Stephen King by her nephew, and then she wrote this book. So that's kind of cool. And again, I think this one was maybe from a library. Oh, maybe not. So yeah, that's kind of cool. It's a little hardback, interesting one. Next, we have Stephen King and the Art of Darkness by Douglas E. Winter. There we go. It talks about Carrie, Salem Lot, The Shining. Just kind of, give some history, some background story. Next is The Science of Monsters by Meg Mefdahl and Kelly Florence. And I actually met Kelly Florence. It was at a convention in Minneapolis, and I got her to, I bought this book from her, and she autographed it. So that's cool. And it talks in this book, it mentions, it goes over like different movies and the science behind like what happens in the movies and whatever. And this talks about Cujo, The Shining, and Carrie. So that's pretty, there's more in it than that. There's other horror stories, but those are the Stephen King ones. So The Science of Monsters. So I've got that in my collection. Then the next one, another library save from the St. Anne's Community High School Library. It's Stephen King, The First Decade, Carried to Pet Cemetery, and it's Twain's United States Authors Series. And that's the picture on that one. And it's got the same picture on the back. But yeah, it talks about, basically it's a bibliography about his works up to Pet Cemetery. I guess there's other people in this series that you can get: Ursula K. Le Guin, Ray Bradbury, Robert Heinlein, George Orwell. So that's kind of cool. It's a whole series that they must do for libraries. So yeah, St. Anne's Community High School Library. Thanks for the donation. Let's see. It looks like it was last checked out back in 1990. So it's a pretty old one. Next, we have two of the same one. It's Bare Bones. We have I like this nice neon bright colored kind of pop type of cover. And then the older school hardcover one. Very cool. That's a cool one to have in my collection. It's basically interviews and talking to Stephen King about different stories and different parts of his life. The next is The Essential Stephen King, the ranking of the greatest novels, short stories, movies, and other creations of the world's most popular author. Boom. By Stephen Spignesi. I don't want to mispronounce the name. He's actually in a group, I believe, that I'm in on Facebook that I post a lot of my Stephen King stuff to. So if he sees this, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. But it breaks down like all of his different stories, books. Dreamcatcher's Girl Love, Tom Gordon. I think it goes all the way up to 2000 and I'm not sure how far it goes, but yeah, it looks like mid 2000s at least. So that's the cover of this one. And then the next one is a dual book, and I only got it because it's King, but it also is Clive Barker. And I'm a Clive Barker fan. I do have that autographed copy of The Thief of Always, which I've done a video on. But this one is The Illustrated Guide to the Masters of the Macabre by James Van Hise. And it's Stephen King and Clive Barker. And it's actually just different like cartoons and talks about different books. I don't know if necessarily all the cartoons. Well, yeah, here we go. Here's one for the stand. The Trash Can Man and the Hand of God. So yeah, and then it talks about Clive Barker, and then it has, you know, pictures for Clive Barker's work. So very cool one to get into my collection. So yeah, those are what I call my King or King related books. So that is a section in my inventory of books that I have. So I hope that everyone is staying safe and that you keep reading and that you have a happy holidays no matter what you celebrate.